Hello, hello, and welcome to Networking Live. My name's Coach Bossy, and I started Networking Live because I wanted it to be a space for people to meet each other here online and grow their network, grow their careers, and grow and learn about from others. Today, I'm so excited that I am joined by my dear friend and actually someone who I met via LinkedIn. Amy's here. With that, Amy, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited that you are doing this for everyone. My name is Amy, and I own a company called Sales and Presence. We've been around for almost 5 years now, and we do some coaching and consulting in the sales world within businesses, and I do a lot of speaking engagements as well. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. I love it. I think last week, the person I had on as well, she has also been doing some speaking engagements. So we're having a trend here. Anyone who
It's the
is
season. Tis the season for all of that. Yes.
It's the season. And of course, I always have to ask this as you say things, I always get excited. But okay, your business is about teaching people sales presence, but then you're speaking. What are you normally speaking about?
Speaking about how to show up, a lot of times sales has changed, business has changed, especially over the last couple years, but it's really that modern sales techniques that are going forward that is going to change the game for people to have success. So it's a lot around how we're communicating, and I am certified in nonverbal communication as well. So we talk a lot about how we show up within a split second, how people are, sizing us up every single day. So how do we make that first impression, and how do we really make that work for us? So I speak a lot on those fun topics.
I love it. And see, I always am learning something new about you too. No matter how close we are, I still get to learn more. I did not know you were certified in nonverbal communication.
That's my
Um,
psychology side. I have a psych degree, and I'm always super curious about those things. So I was like, oh, I need to add that in and see how we can work that into business. Yeah.
Right. Well, for anyone who's joining us today in the audience, please feel free. I see some folks already introducing themselves. I want to say hi and give a shout out. But we have got Amy here, or we've got Samantha here joining us saying, woo, woo, go Amy.
Sam. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. We've got Sarah. Hi from Oklahoma City. Thanks for joining
Yay.
today. And anybody else that's joining, please feel free to drop comments. With that, I've got my first question for Amy, and it is, okay, Amy, what is one thing we should know about you professionally?
Hmm. So one thing you should know about me is I never thought I would be where I am. I think this is an interesting journey. I think so many of us have interesting journeys within our career. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my career. I was a psychology major, but did not want to counsel ever. And I needed a job, and so landed in sales. And sales just tends to be all around communication and psychology and working with people. And so I loved it from the first couple months I was in it, and I was like, this is me from now for forever. So 22 some later, years later, I'm still in sales and coaching and consulting people within sales and how to really have success. And I think the journey has been so exciting and impactful. And the exciting thing for me every single day is that I still get to learn from every single person that I talk to. And so that's what keeps me going on my journey. But I never thought I'd be here. I know if somebody said to me 20 years ago, so you're going to be like a sales coach someday and own your company and work with all these businesses, I'd have been like, nah, I don't even know what that means. So no, probably not. But it's been a crazy ride, and really fun, and the companies and the people I get to meet every single day are inspiring to me.
I love that because it wasn't a straight, narrow path, but it was
Mm.
your path, and it's been a beautiful one. I want to just say, see, look, people in the audience, Sarah's like agreed, and then I see Cindy here from Issaquah, Washington. She is talking about befriending dragons, but I love to see people are, commenting on that. And Amy, it just speaks so much about you because of your openness and interest in really taking those leaps of faith and saying, okay, this is what my degree's in, but then maybe I'm going to go a different way. So
Mhm.
thanks for sharing. All
Yeah.
right, next question here. What's your current networking goal or an area that you're looking to learn more about?
So I think this goes right back to what we were just talking about. My networking goal always is to stay curious and to learn. I don't necessarily have I need to, do this many networking events, or I need to meet up with this many people. Because I think, 24/7 we can be networking. Some of the best conversations I've ever had are sitting next to somebody on a plane that I didn't know, or in an elevator talking to someone. So I think for me, it's the staying curious part of it and being open. Not always, because we have our energy levels, but really those days where I'm like, oh, I would love to engage with new people. And I think the thing that I have found with that is the more I can do that, honestly, outside of my network, so outside of the sales realm, I learn more that I can bring back in. So that helps everyone else. But also, those people know people. So we forget that a lot, I think, with a lot of people that I work with. They're like, well, if I have these companies I really want to work with, I need to dial in who I really need to be talking to not overspend my time with people who are not decision makers. And I always caution about that, because those people are the people that know the decision makers, and they can help you if you stay curious about who they are and learning from them. I think the sky's the limit on that. So I would say staying curious and open-minded always would be the current networking goal. um, and then learning about what they know. So I don't know everything, and I'm very humbled about that. Do not want to be the smartest one in the room ever, but learning more about what they know to see what I can learn and where my journey can take me.
I love that because when you talk about staying curious, and when I hear you talk about, it's almost like the macro level of
Mhm.
networking and of learning from others. Instead of pinpointing yourself into, I've got to meet this person at this company, you're going macro and you're saying, I'm curious about people. One other thing that came up that I just want to point out that I think is so awesome is acknowledging, like, we all have our energy levels. And when it's
Mhm.
time to take a nap, it's time to take a nap, right?
Mhm. Yes. Yes. Welcome to working from home. When is my nap time? When do I need that break? Yes.
Right, which is why networking live is 15 minutes. We're gonna do
All right, exactly.
we
Yep,
keep
bite
it,
size. Needs to be
yeah,
bite size.
bite
Yeah.
size because we all have those energy levels.
Mhm.
I have a follow-up question. I'm
Yeah.
going just totally off.
Going rogue.
I'm
Okay.
going rogue live. So my follow-up question is there anything specific that you're curious about right now?
Mm. I'm curious about how, in a business sense, I'm curious about how businesses are navigating right now. We have a lot of things moving within the world going on, obviously, and sales is a hard career and a hard group of people to make those things successful. Always, it's not an easy path to take, and so when things like that happen, it's harder. And so, how are businesses supporting those teams? What are they looking for? How are we taking care of each other? But then also, how are we redirecting? How are we shifting to go into this new modern sales world? I talk about that a lot when I'm speaking of, when in the past we held all the cards really. We knew everything about our products. We knew all the things, and somebody would come to us and we would give them all that information. It's different now with technology. They're coming to us with all the information that they already hold, whether that's accurate or not. They already hold that. So for us now, it's really staying curious and being the expert in the room of curating that data. So, how are we curating that data, silencing the noise of the stuff that's coming at them because it's overwhelming, and then really learning how to support them with what they actually need, not what we think they need, but what they actually need. And that's a process, and that's a different way of doing sales than we have ever done in the history of business before. So, taking a step back and saying, how to acknowledging it, one, but then how are we doing that as a group and as a team and as a business going forward? So I'm really curious about that. And there's some businesses that I get to work with that are so spot on right now. They are so engaged. They are exciting to work with. And so I see the movement, which is a really exciting thing.
Yeah, I love how you talk about it's almost like a new era of business, right? Um, and it dawned on me as you were saying that it's like doctors used to be able to just prescribe you something or diagnose you, but now we walk into a doctor's office with our own diagnosis, saying,
Hmm.
"I want this prescription," right? And
Yep.
it's so similar to what you were describing in business because we know people are consuming so much, and how do we cut through the noise and make sure that we're also listening, but also presenting really viable solutions.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
you're getting a shout out here. Hi, Amber. Welcome.
Oh, Amber! Hi, lady. Oh, I love you.
Oh, see, this is I get so pumped about this every week because I'm like, who's gonna be here? Amber is saying that Amy's always a wealth of
Hmm.
knowledge and information. Thank you, Amber, for your kind
Yeah, I
comment.
appreciate that. Ah,
Sam, she's seconding that and saw that she's based in DFW. Connection right there.
connection, connection. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep.
Sam, Amber, you'll have to connect after this. Okay, we've got one more question and just a few minutes left here. We are about two-thirds of the way through. This kind of ties into what you're talking about earlier, but if you can expand, what advice do you have for people that are looking to build their network? Maybe they're just getting started in their careers.
Let's say have a plan. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. Have a plan. I think when we're going into our businesses or we're just starting out, or even if we're 20 years in, we networking is a must. We have to network. Nobody gets somewhere alone. We all need people. So I think two things: have a plan when you are networking, whether that's I'm going to attend networking events twice a month or once a week or whatever that is. That's your upfront plan. But then actually have a plan when you go into that networking. So I know that a lot of times we're backed face to face a lot now too. So if you're going to a cocktail hour or a happy hour and you have 50 people in the room, what is your plan? Are you going to walk in and first find the drink so you can get comfortable, or do you actually have a plan? Most people don't when we're networking in that way. And I think it's really impactful to do that. It calms your nerves, number one. And number two, you actually get value out of it. So, for an example, my plan would be I'm going to meet 3 people and ask them one specific question that I have on my mind that's different from what do you do, possibly, and learn from them. That's my goal going into that. So I'd always say have a plan. Secondly, it's really good to know the people that you need. So there's something called the personal board of directors, where you are your own director on your board. Not everybody needs to know that they're on your board, but really put those people in place that they can help you. So if you need people for introductions, who are those people in your life? Actually think that through, have a plan on that. Who are people that inspire you, that you look up to, that you even maybe just follow, that really should have a seat on your board so you can actually keep in touch with them and what they're doing and learn from them every single day. So those are the two things. And then lastly, I would say going back to energy. So for example, I am not naturally an extrovert. I don't thrive off of stuff like this. I actually get lower energy by the end of the day. So taking into account, but I love people, by the way. I love doing this, but it takes my energy. So recognizing your bandwidth on that and how you can do that. Some people, they go throughout the day and the more they connect, the more energy they get. And then some, it's opposite. The more connection they have, the lower their energy is. So really just keeping in mind where your energy level is so you can protect you as well, but also give what you need to give when you're at the table for those people.
Ugh, I love the plan and I appreciate you for the example of how to execute the plan because I think so often we think, let me make a plan. And then you sit down to make it and you're like, "Well, what's in it? Right.
Hmm.
And so also want to pop in here. We've got Sarah talking
Mm.
about she loves the concept of the personal board of directors. That's something that I also love and try to look at every single year. And as you were saying that, I'm like, you're on my personal board, whether you know it or
Me
not.
too, lady. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We
Yeah,
have to have those. Yeah. And I think being specific to who's on your board too. So I do things like risers. You are a riser for me, someone who just is an inspiration and always willing to take the call. And, if I'm having a hard day, being like, but you're so amazing, right? That's your riser. Also, someone who's critical, who loves you so, so much, but it's going to really show you your blind spots. We all have them. So who are those people in your life that's going to come to you and say, love you, girl, but here's where you're missing, I think. So we really need those specific ones on our board that are usually they can be friends, but they really come to us on a business level. Yeah.
100%. Well, with that, we're at 12:16. How
I
could
don't know how.
I know, I really don't know how. I could talk to you all day, every day, but we
Yeah.
always have to work. We've got to get things done as well.
Yeah.
And your energy goes down, my energy goes up because
Hmm.
we're that awesome
Yeah.
complement of introvert and
Yeah.
extrovert. So, Amy, thank you so much for being a guest on Networking Live. And I will definitely be sharing, a recap, not only here on LinkedIn, but YouTube and Facebook as well. Thank you, everyone in the audience. Thank you for your participation. We really appreciate you today. And I'll see you back here next week on Tuesday at noon for Networking Live.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.